Hi, everybody. Um, Thank you so much for joining me live. I am so excited to get started. That music was way more upbeat than I was expecting. I might have to find something chiller for tomorrow. But yeah, I would love to know where you guys are viewing from and what kind of artwork, photography that you specialize in, I would love to know. So please share that in the comments. I'm in the square down here, and just in case you're looking where this like disembodied voice is coming from. And I'm just going to be down here through the slideshow so you can see me. My name is Morgan. I am the founder and designer at Fotera Jewelry. And I am just so excited to share with you how to create a beautiful photo jewelry collection and share with you a little bit about our photography membership where you are able to do that. So let's get started. And if you're joining late, sorry. I'm not going to wait around because I really just don't want you guys to have to sit around and wait for people because you're here on time. So, yeah. So, in this workshop, in this first lesson, you are going to discover a process for designing beautiful photo jewelry. Actually, I'm realizing I should wait and see. Can you guys hear me? All right. If you can't hear me, let me know. If you can, you don't have to say anything. But if you can't hear me, please write in the comments and let me know. Okay. And then also, if you come up with any questions, put them in the comments as we go, and I'll answer them in the end. I'll do a little quick Q&A if something comes up. All right. A little house cleaning there. But I'm going to teach you how you can create a beautiful photo jewelry collection. And so this process will help you create something beautiful, even if you have no design skills whatsoever, even if you've never designed anything in your life. So once you get this down, you'll not only have a new product that your customers will love, but you'll be able to start growing your business faster and more consistently because you have a partner like us at your side. But I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, so I don't want to do that. So let's start with who this is for. So if you are a professional landscape photographer or semi-professional landscape photographer, and you've been in business for a while, but you have been designing, the products you've been designing haven't quite connected with your customers. And this is also for you if you are an artist and you would like to expand your product offerings and you're looking for something truly unique to offer your customers and clients. Or you might be a family, pet, or portrait photographer, and you're looking for something to add to your menu of offerings. Or maybe you're all of these things. I noticed a lot of you guys are multifaceted, which is very cool. But either way, you're in the right place because in these lessons, you're going to discover how you can design a stunning photo jewelry art collection with your artwork. But in order to do this, it's very critical for you to understand how to choose the right photos uh, that connect with your audience. And it's easier than you think. There are maybe a few of you that are not running. So there may be a few of you in this workshop that are not running a photography or art business. And you might be here because you're interested in learning how to create an individual custom photo jewelry piece. And if you're here, that's fine. Don't panic. But this workshop is geared towards professional artists and photographers. If this is you, you're welcome to stick around and follow along. But you can just head to foterajewelry.com, click on custom jewelry, and you can make your jewelry piece right there. But this workshop is for professional photographers and artists who are interested in creating a collection for their business and their customers. So, oops. So stick with me to the end because you're going to get a chance to design your own jewelry as we go along. And a few of you might get a free jewelry piece if you stick around. They're just going to be prizes. So stick around, go through all the lessons, and you just might win a free jewelry piece. All right. So, warning! Before we dig in, I have to warn you about something critically important. It's a little silly, but I'd like you to put aside any limiting beliefs or past experiences about creating products for your business. And let me explain why this is super important. So, right now, some of you might be thinking, I've created digital art products before, print on demand products, and I didn't sell anything. And maybe you've created mugs or pillows or calendars or clothing through companies like Society6 or Redbubble, and your customers didn't respond the way you hoped. And if that's you, I am really sorry. It's not fun to create something and put a lot of work into something just to have people not respond the way you thought. And I mean, it happens from time to time here at Fotera Jewelry, so I get it. And I can relate to this fear of not wanting to try again. But put this aside for now because I'd like you to put this doubt aside because I want to show you a better process for product creation. So, what does this mean? So, instead of working alone and shooting ideas into the dark, which is never very fun, I want to offer you somebody like me who will help you who will work side by side with you to create a winning collection. What if you had a community that you could bounce ideas off of, helping you to grow your online art business, photography business year over year? And I fully understand that may be pretty different from what you've experienced with other print on demand companies and digital print products, but this is a different thing. So stick with me. So there's a fundamental difference between us and them, and why I've created this process, and it works. So that's why I developed this workshop to demystify the process of creating beautiful print on demand product like our photo jewelry. So this process will save you a lot of time. It'll save you a lot of frustration. And the best part is that it's actually really fun. I love doing this. So in this first lesson, I'm going to share with you a process that I've developed over the last few years while running Fotera Jewelry through trial and error. And it's the process I've used to create lots of jewelry collections that our customers adore. And I've worked on it, I've refined it over the years while working with numerous landscape photographers, with stores and boutiques, and with galleries who want to create their own photo jewelry collections. So this is a tried and true process. So if you're feeling overwhelmed by the idea of design, this workshop will serve as a tremendous resource to eliminate that frustration, and it'll help you create something beautiful that your customers will love. Yeah. So I'm going to skip this. So before I outline how to design the jewelry and the specifics, each step-by-step thing, you might be wondering, who am I? Why am I telling you this? So let me just quickly, this always drives me nuts whenever I'm at these things where people are like, let me tell you about me. I'll go through it fast, but I promise it's important. So Fotera was created by me, Morgan, and my husband, Josh. And our studio is now located in Portland, Oregon, but at the time we were located in Honolulu, Hawaii. And Josh was a hobbyist photographer, and he was taking these gorgeous photos, and he wasn't showing them to anybody. and it was very frustrating. And I was creating jewelry, completely different style of jewelry, just as a little side business, just for fun. And he had these photos, and I was like, "Can you give these to me so I can play with them?" And when he first started, a lot of them were shot on his iPhone, but he since graduated to a real camera. But one day I asked him to send me these photos, and because I had this idea, and he reluctantly gave me them, and I started playing with them, and I developed this jewelry process. And long story short, Patera Jewelry was born. So as we began showing our jewelry across Hawaii and a little bit on the mainland, we began getting requests for photo jewelry from other locations other than Hawaii. So it was hard because we lived in the middle of the Pacific and we couldn't travel very easily to get to these other destinations. So we brought in some friends to help us expand our imagery. And this is great because they liked it because they could start growing their business with the commissions they earned from Patera Jewelry. So it was really a win-win. And then we started getting approached by painters and other photographers and boutiques. And that's when things got really overwhelming. And when it comes to jewelry design, I was a one woman show. I was designing it. At the time, I was also making it. Um, and it was becoming super overwhelming. And it left me with no time to help promote with the photographers. And what's the point of developing a product, a beautiful photo jewelry product, if no one sees it? But then I had this idea. What if I could give photographers complete creative control of their photo jewelry collections? This would free up my time to work with the artists on promoting their jewelry collections and get their designs to them faster. And this is when I got to the drawing board and started working on a system that would make it easy for our artists to design their own collections with guidance from me. I don't just leave you alone and good luck. I get a lot of guidance from me. And then freeing up their time, freeing up my time, sorry, for the day-to-day tasks of running a jewelry business and giving the Fotera team time to support the artists. So it really just worked so nicely. And that's when I decided to develop this membership. So I'll be talking about the membership later and how you can work with us a little more in depth. But for now, we're going to start at the beginning of how to create a photo jewelry collection. So that's out of the way. So let's get started. So everything I'm about to share with you is the exact plan that I still follow to this day to create a successful photo jewelry collection. And this process has led me to create a six-figure business that has grown year over year. And more importantly, this means that you'll experience business growth when you partner with us. So that's what I want for you. I want you to grow your photography, your art business. So coming up, I will show you just how to do it. So here's where we're going. So today, we are going to identify the best images to use in the photo jewelry. And so you might be wondering, can't I just put any image in there? Long story short, no. So I'm going to show you exactly what to look for when you're looking for a image to create your photo jewelry collection. And then tomorrow, we're going to start thinking like a designer and not like a photographer. And you might be thinking, what in the world? But just hold tight. We'll get to that. And then on day 3, I'm going to share with you how to vet your jewelry collections. So you know it's something that your customers will love and purchase. And it's a shockingly simple system, embarrassingly simple. So let's dive right in. So so make sure you have something to write on. There will be a re-recording of this, but just take some notes while we're going along. So there are 5 things to identify when you're choosing a photograph to start your collection. So first, you want to make it vibrant. So create a bright and colorful piece by using lots of vibrant colors that vary in hue. If you use an image with similar colors and limited variation, the jewelry will look muddy and you will be unable to pick out the details of the image. So you want to make sure you have to remember, like, we're shrinking this down into a very small piece. So if you have very similar colors all in the image, it's just not going to read. I actually had to talk with a photographer last week and just tell them I'm so sorry. We actually like tried to edit the photo to make it work in the jewelry piece, and it just didn't work because it was all different shades of green. And when we printed it out on the paper and we got it going, it just looked like a green blob. And I felt so bad because I saw the vision, but it just didn't work. So sometimes that happens, but if you know this process, you can kind of start spotting those images of that's not going to work. I'm not going to waste my time. So when in doubt, keep it simple. So simple scenes with a lot going on can overwhelm your tiny jewelry piece. So remember, these are very tiny, kind of like these guys, pretty tiny. So the best jewelry, and in my opinion, in my humble opinion, the best design is simple. So we'll talk more about this tomorrow when we talk about design. But when you're looking for your image, just think simple with lots of varying hues. So here is an example here. Do this, not that. So this, it's easier to see the sunset in the example on the left. The color, or I think I'm mirrored with the color, with the piece on the left. The colors have a lot of variation. There's that purple and orange and red. So it's really easy to pick out the scene and the details. Even though it is abstract, you can say that's a beach. It's a sunset. The scene on the right, um, it it's got a lot of detail going on. Well, it's a really beautiful piece and it would probably look really great as a blown up print. It's hard to make out the green from the blue ocean and the blue sky and the sunset and the rocks and the dock and the island. It's a lot happening, right? So think about how small your pieces are going to be and how you can simplify that in translating that into a jewelry piece. So the third thing is use a dark subject. So I'm not talking about spooky stories or slasher films. A dark subject means that your subject, or the thing that you're focused on when you're taking the picture, as a photographer, you know this, is darker than the background of the image. So, for example, these are one of our best-selling pieces. This is our best-selling piece. Who am I kidding? It still is. It's been our bestseller for, oh gosh, I'm dating myself, almost a decade. Oh man. So this is, you can see our subject in this piece is the island in the back, and it's in silhouette and it is darker than the rest of the piece. And the nice thing about that is it gives it this abstract feel, but especially my Hawaii people, they look at that and they say, I know exactly where that is. That's Rabbit Island. I've been there. I want that piece. It makes me want to go back there. So think about how you can, if you're focused on a subject, like how can you bring that out either through the photo itself when you're taking it or through editing, or or when you're going through photos, look for things with a darker silhouette. Silhouette works really nicely with this process. So for example, the image on the left has the palm trees silhouetted against that colorful scene. And it just gives it gives a vibe. People like a vibe, right? So it gives it that, your brain automatically just fills in the rest. You're in a tropical place, a beautiful sunset. I've been there before. I want that piece. That's kind of how our customers think in a nutshell. So you want to do that. And it also makes it so much clearer to see those palm trees. If you look at the one on the right, it's very blown out. I mean, it's a cool shot. I mean, again, it would look great on a print, framed on the wall. It would look great. But the green blends in with that blue sky, and it's like from far away, you're not going to be able to see that that's a palm tree. It's just not going to look like anything really. So make sure that your subject pops. So it doesn't have to be black, it could just be a contrasting color, even. So think about those contrasts and how can you make that stand out in such a tiny piece? All right. So here at Proterra, we are known for our sunsets. But there's a trick to which sunset image works the best. The best ones are worth the wait. So let me explain what I mean. So this is a great sunset. It's a, kind of abstract. This would look great on a wall. It's like gorgeous pastels. So pretty. But when it gets put into a jewelry piece, that's all you get. It's not very colorful. And because our jewelry is translucent, white and light yellow colors will show up as clear. And sometimes this is great, especially, like, for example, with the earrings, I can kind of, actually, maybe I'll kind of come out and hide this for a second. So yeah, with the earrings I'm wearing right now, you can kind of see the white helps it because it helps make the forest trees stand out a little more. But with something like this where there is no subject or the sunset is the subject, it doesn't quite read, doesn't quite make sense. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're working with colors like this. So do this, not that. So as you see here, the person who created the jewelry piece on the left waited a few minutes for the sun to go down, and that's when you get that awesome color. The person on the right was a little less patient, and they got a really blown out sunset. And you can kind of see, like, that's a really cool, beautiful shot, but very, very with all the light leaks and everything, but it just doesn't translate well in a jewelry piece. So I think you guys have been waiting for this one. This is for all of our portrait photographers here. And if you want to put in the comments if you do portrait photography, I'm very curious how many of you are here. So yeah, I would love to know who you are. But with our portrait photography, it's a little trickier. It's a lot trickier. But you can get some really cool portrait photos of people if you just follow these guidelines. So, for example, this is a beautiful photo, family photo. I mean, it's a great family photo. Somebody would be so happy to put that on their mantle. But as you can see in the jewelry piece, you can barely see that family, right? They are so faded and tiny and washed out. So full daylight family photos, unfortunately, just, they don't work. They don't work. But there are some creative ways to capture a photo with people in it and capture that environment that they're in as well. So my favorite way, of course, is through silhouette. This is one way to do it. So this family is captured in silhouette against this beautiful sunset. And not only is this a bit more interesting to look at, but it captures the memory of the moment and the place that they were in while taking that photo. And it works, in my opinion, just so much better. And the photo on the right, while it's really cute, I'm partial. That's my son when he was a baby. Um, it won't make a good jewelry piece though, even though he's very cute. Because the jewelry, like I said, is slightly translucent. My cute baby's face is gonna come out all washed out and muddy, and he won't look so cute anymore. So portraits, close-up portraits, things like that, it just doesn't quite work. So like I said before, a silhouette is great. It doesn't have to be a full blacked out silhouette. It could be contrasting colors. Like we've gotten some really cool photos of people wearing red in a green forest, and that looked great. And they were, walking through down the path, and it was like their back, and that was a wonderful photo that we got. And the family was so, or the wife who got the necklace was so happy about it and really loved it. So think about that. Just think of contrast. How can you bring that up? Because they are so tiny and you really just want to capture that essence as opposed to every fine detail like you do when you're blowing up a big photo. You just kind of have to think a little differently. So now that you're clear about all the 5 things to look for when you're choosing the best photos for your jewelry, the next question is, how do you design your piece? And this may not be as obvious as you think. So in the next lesson, I'm going to teach you how to look at photo jewelry collection not as a photographer or a painter, but as a designer. So this lesson will serve as the foundation to creating your photo jewelry collection. So you can move forward and feel really confident about that you've made really good decisions with choosing the photos, choosing the designs, and you feel good. So once you know exactly what to do, you can see how easy it is to choose the best colors, crops, and shapes. And I'll show you all that in the next lesson. So just a quick reminder that tomorrow, Friday, we're going to be doing it all over again at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then on Saturday, we're going to get it done early in the morning so you can get on with your day at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I know that's a little later for you East Coast people. There will be a a replay, there we go, of this recording and all 3 recordings. And yeah, so I'm gonna go check and see if, no questions. Okay. Well, if you do come up with questions, I'm gonna be checking back later this evening and tomorrow. So post them in the comments below this video. I will check them, and then you'll be getting a recording tomorrow morning of this video too, so you can rewatch it if you say, wait a minute, what was step 5? Yeah, so don't stress. And then you have homework. I have homework assignments for you guys. And these homework assignments come with prizes. So I want to see who's an A student. So what I want you to do, your first assignment, is to share this workshop with anybody who you think might be interested in creating a photo jewelry collection. Yeah, it's nice to study together. It's nice to go through something like this together. So yeah, make sure that you have a buddy that you think might want to do this as well. And then assignment number 2 is to go through your photos or your art pieces, your collection, and choose 1 to 3 photos that fit the description that we went through today. And I want you to choose these and share them in the Facebook group. And I know Facebook, I know it's, I know some of you might be like, I don't do Facebook, but I highly encourage you to do this because I'll be in there and I can give you some feedback on what you've chosen, and I can kind of help you out and walk you through it. So if you're feeling at all not quite confident about, um, you know, what you've chosen, I can help you. And then there's also photographers who are already part of our membership, who kind of have been through this training, they can give you some feedback as well. So it's kind of nice to get that too. And then from that, we're going to choose two, maybe three if there's a lot, images to turn into jewelry samples on our end. And we are going to use them as examples in the next class. So, or the next class. So if your photo jewelry or if your photo is chosen, you will get a prize, and that prize is free jewelry. So it's pretty cool. So it's an incentive to go to the Facebook group. Just put yourself out there. I know it's Facebook. I get it. I don't love Facebook, but it's a nice place to be able to message people and get feedback and things like that. So the due date for your homework is tomorrow before the next class, preferably early, so I can see them all and mock up a few designs for you. But yeah, I'm excited to see what you guys come up with and what you put out there. So yeah, if there's no questions, I'm gonna end it here, and I will see you all tomorrow. Have a good evening, and post questions below if you have questions about anything that was talked about today. All right, bye for now. See ya.